Trailblazer Awards as it passed the 4 stages of the BGS. With this, the Bureau of Customs was also recognized as an island of good governance, or IGG. Stakeholders' feedback mechanisms was fortified under the Duterte administration, resulting in the immediate resolution of complaints and concerns. Aligned with the Zero Contact Policy to eliminate corruption, the Bureau of Customs established the Customer Care Centers in all 17 correction districts. The CCC serves as the focal point for all customs-related inquiries, both for walk-in and online, in compliance with the Ease of Doing Business law. The Bureau of Customs has also remained compliant with the FOI requirement of the National Government Service since 2019. As part of the Bureau's Integrity Development Program, the Bureau of Customs commissioned the Philippine Statistics and Research Center to survey 1,000 direct external stakeholders. Survey results showed that a 93% satisfaction, 94% trust, and 100% awareness rating was garnered by the Bureau. That in brief is the story of how we have sustained the momentum to transform even during the time of a global pandemic. The significant achievements and accomplishments initiatives focused on people, system innovation, values transformation, among others. We remain steadfast and on track to achieve our targets, our mandate. Thank you very much, and we shall answer any of your questions after the presentation of Ms. Teresita Malco on the presentation of the processing of consolidated shipments of balikbayan boxes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Vincent Philip C. Manavilla, the spokesperson of the Bureau of Customs, for presenting the accomplishments for the period of 2016 to 2022. Again, should our media partners, especially those who are in Zoom, if you have any questions, you may drop your questions to the Zoom chat box and shall be read out during our Q&A portion later on. And before we proceed, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Director of Financial Service, Ms. Cecil Soriano. Good afternoon, ma'am. And of course, to the Acting Chief of the Accounts Management Office, Mr. Refi Gore. Afternoon, sir. Now to present with us the processes of facilitating consolidated shipment of balikbayan boxes. Let's all welcome the Acting Chief of the Entry Processing Unit, Informal Entry Division of the Port of Manila, Ms. Maria Teresita Juliet C. Malco.
Blessed afternoon, our commissioners, media group, and to everyone. Due to the influx of the requesting for assistance of the different climates of the all-grain cargo, we have reviewed the presentation as part of the included in the priority program of our dear commissioner and to the Bureau of Customs. We have this, the presentation of the flowchart for processing of concentrated shipment of balikbayan boxes. To start with, we have the entry processing unit. Since we are in the online processing of goods declaration, we have the retrieval of tickets uploaded by the stakeholder through portal and check the accuracy and completeness of goods declaration and other supporting documents to review the manifest waybill and what matches with the goods declaration and reviews the goods declaration and then assign entry number. For the Informal Entry Division Assessment Group, we have the Chief IED to assign the goods declaration to the different CO5 and CO3 concerned, and for the CO3, the assessment of the duties and taxes and other charges based on the assessment evaluation, then preparation and signs order of payment, clearance form, and the goods declaration thereof. Then for the COO5 in the assessment group, to review the assessment of the COO3 concerned, then to sign the order of payment, clearance, and the goods declaration. Then the Chief IED for the final review and signs the clearance form. and intends the document to CO5 to inform the stakeholder for the payment of duties and taxes to be imposed. Then after the payment of duties and taxes by the stakeholder, the chief will inform the stakeholder through portal that the cargo is ready for release, subject to that intrusive inspection. For the X-ray inspection project, we have the performance of the non-intrusive inspection. Then thereafter, the forwards X-ray image to the IPD. Then for the release thereof. Thank you.
Thank you very Thank you very much. Once again, the Acting Chief of the Entry Processing Unit, EPU, of Informal Energy Division of the Port of Manila, Ms. Maria Teresita Juliet Simago, for presenting with us the processes for facilitating consolidated shipment of balikbayan boxes, which is actually timely for our stakeholders and the general public. So thank you very much for briefing with us on that. At this point, I think it's time for us to open our question and answer session. And in the interest of fairness, I will be catering to both live and advanced questions of our media partners. So our media partners can give their questions to where they are seated right now or to where they are standing right now, since our audio can be heard through our microphone here. And for our attendees in Zoom, you may give your questions to our Zoom chat box, and we will be reading those questions out. So I guess we can proceed with our first question. To our physical attendees, do you have any questions from our media partners? You may raise your hand. Yes, ma'am, please introduce yourself first. Thank you.
Hi everybody, Margo from XMNI. My first question would be, ito 3.46 something natin ng billion na revenue collection and yung smuggled goods natin is 95 billion. Yan po ba yung pinakamalaki?
Well, yes. In terms of a given specific period, if you look at the periods covered and compare it to other periods covered prior to this administration, that's the biggest revenue collection to date. In fact, if you look at the percentage of revenue collected against targets, that also places the Bureau of Customs in the Duterte administration as one of the most efficient in collecting duties and taxes. I think that the same goes with value and incidents of anti-smuggling. So we reported that because comparatively, if you compare it with other data from previous customs administrations, I think we've posted some of the more significant numbers.
Sir, follow-up question would be yung sa ano po, yung file natin ng cases, ilan po doon yung tumulong talaga yung kaso ng
To answer you better, I'd refer you to the Chief of the Prosecution and Litigation Division of the Bureau of Customs, Attorney Lito Doria. He still handles prosecution of our cases. He might be able to answer it more.
Yeah, good afternoon. So based on our records, we have an active case of at least 10 cases as of today. But for a total number of cases of 115, but those which are filed in court are 10. And majority of the remaining ones are still under preliminary investigation.
So far po ba may napakulong na po ba itong BOC doon sa mga napagay natin ang kaso na pag-moita sir?
Pending pa lang yung
Pending
pa lang
lang.
yung mga kaso.
Thank you sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, that was Ms. Gina from SMNI. Thank you for your questions. For our second question, I'd like to read a question from Saksi Ngayon, his paper, by Mr. Joel Amomo. His question is addressed to the Commissioner of Customs. Sir, hindi po kami naniniwala na protector si Commissioner Guerrero sa agricultural product smuggling. Any reaction po mula sa kanya regarding this issue?
Of course, nagpapasalamat ako doon sa committee from our deal partner. And I assure you, was now some commissioner, I will remain faithful sa mandate ko. So making sure that the Bureau of Customs perform as expected. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Quedo. And of course, to Saksi newspaper, Mr. Joel Amamon. Do we have any questions now from our physical attendees, from our media partners? You may raise your hand po. Yes, Sir Nico.
Yeah.
You may.
Sir, dun sa report kasi nakasulat, 91.76% na processes is digitized na. So, ano yung remaining processes na hindi pa digitized? And then, kailan maayos po ito para maging automated natin?
Maybe si OIC, Vice Chief can answer that.
The remaining processes that are not yet automated are mostly internal to the Bureau of Customs, but we expect to have them automated at the very least 98% within the year.
So, within the year, we can say eventually 100% of all the processes,
Around 98%.
around 90%.
Thank you, Sir Nico. And you always see Attorney Valvanera for responding to the question. Do you have any follow-up questions, sir? Or any other questions from our media partners? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon po. Rafi Tima from GMA7. Tanong ko lang po dun sa Allwyn issue. Ano po yung timeline nyo doon para ma-release or ma-auction yung mga balikbayan boxes kasi dumadami yung mga nagreklamo na hindi pa nakakarating sa kanila.
I think the representatives, we've invited the representatives coming from the Manila International Container Port where that particular issue is pending. Deputy Collector Geoff De Vera, I think, is here with us. And of course, with him is the Assistant Chief of the Informal Entry Division, which handles yung Allwyn problem. Clarify ko namin yung Allwyn problem is actually started with an issue with Allwyn. It's a Dubai-based corporation or UAE-based corporation. Nag-represent siya na kaya niya magpadala dito sa Pilipinas. Pinadala naman niya talaga, pero pagdating dito, andito ho yung taga Cargoflex. In-invite na rin namin. Pinangalan sa Cargoflex, pero according to Cargoflex, hindi po sila kinontak ng Allwyn at all for them to deconsolidate. Yun yung kasi kaukulang proseso pagdating dito. Deconsolidate balikbayan box and deliver it. So kumbaga, pagdating mo dito, pinagkayaan ng kumpanya dun sa UAE, yung mga balikbayan box na yun. So na-abandon mo siya, hindi mo na proseso sa Bureau of Customs. Nagkaroon mo ng mga demurahe, kaya lang sa mga private operators natin, ng terminals natin, pati shipping lines. And now, the Manila International Container Port is trying their best, together with TDCAP, andyan sina Sir Joel, trying their very best to help itong mga kababayan natin na makuha pa rin itong balikbayan box despite what this company did to them. So, I think to better explain what happened, Deputy Collector Geoff De Vera, who handles operations in the Bureau, can brief you also.
Question please, from the room.
Thank you, Ascom. As far as the details is concerned, regarding the two containers consigned to CMG, this was already released on April 28, 2021 and has been delivered by the DDCAP to the affected balikbayan. As far as the two containers, another two containers consigned to CMG, this has been subject for release by the DDCAP last June 20, 2022. And to date, the DDCAP is processing the transport of the containers to their warehouse, and eventually this will be delivered to all the affected balikbayan box owners. As far as the three containers consigned to FPV forwarders, on June 8, 2022, we issued a memorandum to MICP to properly document and dispose the said containers for auction. To date, the cargoes are being scheduled for public auction. As far as the 18 containers consigned to Cargo Flex, these are being identified, and then the necessary notice for public auction will be scheduled once these containers are identified. That's all for MIC.
Thank you very much, Attorney De Vera. Do we have any additional responses?
As far as the Port of Manila regarding the shipper for the All-Wing Balikbayan cargo, we have 4 containers being processed at Port of Manila. Then, at the internet system, it has been released for that for the deconsolidator warehouse. But for the remaining 2 containers, is still at large at the container yard of the Asian Terminal Incorporated. Not yet released by the deconsolidator, Cargo Flex. Thank you.
Nasa Port of Manila namin, yung All-Win to, no? Tapos na sa customs. Pero may portion kasi na hindi na labas na sa customs na kinakailangan iproseso pa din nung All-Win. Nung sino man yung counterpart nila dito. Nasa yarda, hindi pa rin nilalabas. Pero clearly, wala na sa customs yung issue. Yun sa MICP naman, pinabayaan kasi yun, wala talaga ni consolidator. Ni-report na naman ito. Yung ibang nakakonsign sa CGM, na-deliver na namin. And again, we also want to really recognize yung mga partners namin sa stakeholders namin, especially DTCAP, no, who's been very helpful with us in identifying and yung mga balikbayan boxes sa mga kababayan natin na loko. Yung ilan pa, ina-identify namin yung mga containers para sigurado kami, hindi kasi namin pwedeng buksan nun, na hindi namin sigurado yung mga sa kababayan natin. Ang problema kasi nun, ni isang dokumento walang ibinigay sa amin. Meron kasi dapat yan master and house BL, kung ano-ano pa. Yun. So once that is identified, very quick naman yung notice of public auction natin. I know the term public auction sounds scary, no? We've been asked na ba't ganun, but it's just a legal process we're undertaking to be able to dispose of it in accordance with our laws. Pero yung process na yun, sinisigurado naman namin with TDCAP, dadaanan lang natin and i-deliver pa din yan sa mga kababayan natin na may-ari nun. Meron lang talaga tayong kailangan pagdaan ng proseso at may mga kinausap tayong mga stakeholders din namin, no, sa auction process at sa TDCAP na tumulong talaga. Kasi without the help of our private stakeholders, may hirapan din yung Bureau. And we just want to assure yung mga may-ari na itong mga balikbayan boxes na to. Tulad ng ibang balikbayan box na i-deliver namin. Konting oras lang po, i-deliver din namin ulit sa inyo to. And again, siguro paalala, no? Andyan sila Joel ng DTCAP, marami silang miyembro dyan. Siguro baka pwede yung mga miyembro na lang nila gamitin natin. Huwag na tayong magtipid ng kukonti. Tapos pagdating dito, wala rin mangyayari dun sa mga balikbayan boxes natin. Let's not deal with companies that don't have any background and any experience in actually delivering these goods or nagkaroon na ng pagkakamali. Meron naman listahan sa DTI website kung ano yung mga maayos na kumpanya. Pwede sila mag-refer doon, nasa DTI yan. DTCAP is here to help them. You can look at the website of DTCAP. They have their own members there. Maybe yung mga kababayan natin, tingnan na lang muna nila yung mga yan at huwag na makipag-deal dun sa nagre-represent lagi na mura, pero hindi naman po nakakarating dito yung mga balikbayan boxes natin.
Sir, follow-up lang. Okay na po ba?
Yes, sir.
So ilan po yung total na containers na involved dito? Mukhang mas marami talaga pala yata. And ilan po yung ginamit ng consolidators? Yung ginamit lang ng All-Wing? Parang hindi naman coordinate.
Yung sa balita namin sa All-Win is only cargo flex, no?
And that involves 18 containers.
And that involves 18 containers.
Sa MICP lang.
MICP only. Sa POM, 4.
4.
So total of 22.
Cagayan de Oro.
There's also one daw in Cagayan de Oro. So 23 containers.
Pero as pag isang container, 420 balikbayan boxes.
Yes. So in one container, it averages about 420, sagad na yung 450 balikbayan boxes. But an average of 420. So yun. Yun yung numbers nun. And all of which, all 18, ilang buwan na rin namin pinoproblema dahil nga hindi talaga nagkipag-cooperate yung Allwin na to, hindi ba pa nagparating. Gumagawa lang talaga kami ng paraan together with other partners namin sa private sector para may deliver to pa rin sa ating mga kababayan.
Thank you very much, Assistant Commissioner Maranilla, for responding, and of course, Attorney De Vera and Ms. Malco for responding to the queries. Sir Nico, do you have any follow-up questions?
Sir, yung sa I was wondering about dun sa nangyaring killings kasi last year up to this year. Saka dun sa kasi parang hindi naging malinaw yung naging motive for that series of violence. And I understand that isa nakulong and then yung isa naman yung nabaril nga dito sa loob. Anong mangyayari afterwards? Have we figured out kung paano maiwasan ito in the future, lalo na ngayon magta-transition na kayo with leadership here in the Bureau of Customs?
Yung matter yan, this is not the first time that such an incident happened here in the Bureau of Customs. And then tayo again, we've been reminding our people to practice personal protective measures. But in spite of that, hindi natin maiwasan yan. Sabi natin, kung mayroon talagang determined assassin, hindi mapipigil na natin yung time and place, it's likely to be matagal. But as far as yung recent killings are concerned, we have already submitted yung mga aming witnesses, aming personnel for investigation, and it's now up to the PNP and the NBI to come up with the findings and make the necessary recommendations.
But in terms of figuring out why they were targeted and their relationship to their work here, may nagawa ba kayong parang recommendations or changes on the workflow or how it involves their work?
Yung iba work-related, yung iba hindi. No? But again, as much as possible, no, we try to stick by sa results of investigation. We don't want to add any other concerns no, that would bother yung mga mindset at yung attitudes ng mga personnel natin sa Bureau of Customs simply because really disturbing itong mga pangyayari ito. But what we are doing is really reassuring them and instituting the necessary measures to make sure the work environment remains to be safe and secure.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Guerrero, for responding to the query of Mr. Nico. I think we have a question from the Zoom. Can I call on Mr. Raul Esperas? Sir, do you have any question?
Yes, Commissioner, I asked this question during one of the events at the airport, and I will again repeat this question. You are in the part of a portion of transition between the new administration and the former administration. Bakit sa tingin niyo po, ngayon lang lumalabas itong mga pagbati ko sa inyo at tuloy-tuloy, even though na you will be expected to be replaced any time by the new administration po.
Yung mga interested parties can only can be the best source of yung explanation for all of this. As you all know, the Bureau of Customs position is one that is considered very important and critical. Not only because of yung responsibility of being able to generate much needed revenue for government, but most importantly, of yung functions of modeling of law enforcement and implementation of the CLT. So I can only guess as to yung motivation of those behind itong mga issues nito that are being brought against me. But as I said, I have no attachments to this position. Sabi mo nga, I don't expect to be extended. And I never applied for extension. I never even sought the influence of any person just for me to be extended. Sa akin nandito, I feel that I have done my best as a Commissioner of Customs in trying to transition and transform this agency, and I hope together with the taking over from me, we'll be able to sustain all these achievements, not only for the benefit of our stakeholders, our public in general, but more importantly, the good men and women of the Bureau of Customs.
Commissioner, follow up, no? ang Senate is planning to investigate the alleged agricultural smuggling. And one of the names mentioned was your name to be alleged involved. Are you willing to face the investigation to be conducted by the incoming senator?
Of course, sabi nga, I'm willing to face any and all investigations related to all of these accusations being brought against me. I consider it as an opportunity for me to explain what has the development in the Bureau of Customs, and also an opportunity for me to be my
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Sir Gaudis Peras, for your question, and Commissioner Guerrero for your response. Allow me to read out another question, advanced question from the DZDB from Mr. Manny Vargas. A question addressed to the intelligence group, as stated here. Sir, what changes or improvements in the fight versus smuggling, especially on agricultural products, is the Bureau of Customs pushing for, and what should be given priority and why?
Thank you for that question. Today, we are continuing with the advanced profiling, meaning this system is focusing on shipments that have been held or seized because of some prohibited items inside. So, we are checking on residual shipments, meaning ito yung mga naiwan na shipments, and we link this together. So maraming mga success stories that happened recently. Tuloy-tuloy yung mga profiling namin, and we have gained or we had success of identifying the importers, the brokers, and of course we have deterred. We have made some deterrence to sa smuggling. Also, we have been utilizing some informants from various sources. Meron kaming mechanism, the 8484, which had recently provided some good inputs. In fact, may mga data, it provides security, yung mga protection on the sender, hindi malalaman kung sino siya. But we will be having dedicated investigators to check on those information. Hindi naman porket nagsabi sila, we take action, but we do investigate, then kung maayos, nire-recommend namin for a letter of authority. Ito yung parang search warrant that would allow us to check on the import documents and other pertinent documents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Commissioner Ramiro, for responding to the query of DZBB, Mr. Manny Vargas. So thank you so much, sir, for giving your question. Do you have any other questions? Sir Nico, yes?
Sir, out of curiosity lang, ano yung status ng policy ng customs in destroying luxury cars? Is it still in place or babaguhin ba to? I mean, kasi some think that it's better off to sell na lang considering na konti lang ang pondo na, ay nagkukulang ang pondo ng gobyerno ngayon.
We have actually desisted na from destroying itong mga luxury vehicles na ito, and opted to just auction them for us to be able to generate additional revenues. This is also a destruction of also of the former Secretary of Finance, Secretary of the Ministry of the President. Former President.
Kailan po, sir, tinigil yung pagsisira? Bago lang to. Bago lang. So from April till hindi na sirain, wala na siraan. Okay.
Unless there will be another instruction to do otherwise.
Okay.
Ilang piraso yun, sir?
Oo nga.
Ilang kayo iba natin yan?
We have already auctioned the 3.
3. Ilang kayo iba ng kotse?
Medyo
More or less, sir.
More or less lang.
More than 20.
more than 20 pa.
More than 20 pa naman.
Karamihan galing ito saan siya?
Sa iba-iba
May value po kayo. Ballpark figure ng value ng 20 plus. More or less 20 luxury cars.
Pero
Parang magkano po?
Mga 100 million.
100M.
yung natitirang 20? Okay. More than 100.
Estimate lang yun.
Estimate ko.
Yes, sir. And, pero sir, since pinagpatuloy na siya, kasi before ang naintindihan ko, kaya naman siya ginawa yung policy niyan before. Kasi ang nangyayari dati, bagamat nasasabat yung mga luxury vehicle, ang nangyayari, yung smuggler yung bumibili din eventually. So parang nalulusutan din nila. So, bawal ba na yung pinaghihinalaan na smuggler na wag mag-participate sa auction ng mga luxury car na yan?
Ano yung safeguard po na bago?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, we have created an interagency committee to conduct the auction for luxury vehicles. No? And the committee is composed of the Bureau of Customs, the Bureau of the Treasury, and the Land Bank of the Philippines. No? So, the auctions are being conducted at the office of the Bureau of the Treasury sa Ayuntamiento. And then we have already conducted 2 meetings actually. So first measure that we do in order to avoid the joining by the so-called smugglers. First is that we do not allow the consignees themselves, the consignees on record, to join in the bidding. And of course, we make the bidding very transparent. No? So this is an online bidding. In fact, this is the first time that bidding is being conducted online. No? With all the technology now that we are using. So also, we encourage all private citizens, all our kababayans to join in the public auction. So it's not only the Bureau of Customs that advertises these scheduled auctions, but also the our partners in the Bureau of the Treasury and the Land Bank of the Philippines also. It's a very transparent process. Thank you.
So if I may add, yung auction process natin dito, no? Initially, we're doing it with the Bureau of Treasury and Land Bank. But for the auctions of other commodities and plan namin is for us to do the same. For us to be able to provide transparency and fairness to sa auction process. So ngayon, in-auction lang natin using this kind of arrangement. In-auction natin ang mga luxury vehicles pala. But we're working to auction of other goods using the same system.
Like what? Anong nakikita niyong pwede pang i-auction eventually?
Rice, machineries, whatever pwede pa natin pasok. Ang bottom line dito is earlier on, we already planned to have itong auction process natin na outsourcing. Itong mga auctioning natin ng goods is a non-sovereign function which by law, we are allowed to outsource. So that will not only relieve us of the burden of having this being conducted by ourselves, but also provide more transparency in the process.
Just to clarify, sir, di ba sabi niyo there's a task force? Anong nagiging role ni Treasury tsaka ni Land Bank?
Sila na po conduct.
Okay.
Pero sir, you're saying eventually kayo na po gagawa? Tama po ba?
Hindi.
Talaga
Eventually, give up na namin yung auction
sila na talaga yung gagawa.
for all goods.
Sir, dun sa sibuyas, carrots, pag na-confis ka, saan ba yung mga smuggle? Saan ilalagay na yan?
Sumisira yun. Especially considering that this entered without the necessary permission. So they are considered hazardous not fit for human consumption kung wala silang mga permits. So So we leave it up to the regulatory agency. Normally for the agricultural products, DA. So Bureau of Plant Industry. So we ask them what to do with the seize our goods, and they are the ones to give us the recommendations as to the disposal. And normally pag mangga yan, i-dispose nila yan through condemnation. Meaning destruction si decision.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Guerrero. Sir Nico, yes po.
Sir, one last for me. Sir, kamusta yung napag-usapan na ba kung sino ba ang posibleng papalit sa inyo dito? And then what would be your recommendations for whoever's going to replace you or kung kayo man yung magpapatunay?
Ang instruction sa akin is to wait for orders.
Okay. If wait for orders.
Wait for orders. Hindi ko alam kung anong orders yun.
Sino po nagsabi sa inyo?
nagsabi nun, sir?
Sa magaling salita, continue variety. So, gawin lang po tayo ng mga pagawin dito para may continuity at hindi ma-distract yung ating proseso ng mga kagaling.
Thank you very much, Commissioner and Sir Nico. And I think that also answers the question of Saksi ngayon, newspaper Joel Amongo. Same question po yun kanina. We also have another question. We'll be catering for 3 more questions so we can end early at around 2 to 10 p.m. So we have a question from Mr. Ferdinand Patrino. This question is for the Commissioner or any of the Deputy Commissioners. Sir, saan po napupunta yung mga confiscated smuggled goods? And ano po yung mga top confiscated goods based dun sa statement kahapon?
Pwede sumagot yan. IG, pwede ba sagutin yan? Sana pupunta yung mga smuggled goods? Depende kasi sa mode of disposal. So sa mga seized items, meron tayo 3 modes of disposal. We either auction, we either condemn, saka donation. So, depende na kung paano ang magiging mas maganda para sa ating bayan kung paano i-dispose. Some can be donated, especially sa mga government agencies that are in need of itong mga goods na ito. It can be auctioned off to generate additional revenue papasok sa kaban ng bayan. Or it can be condemned, sisirain dahil hindi pwede pakinabangan, especially for goods that are considered risk of hazards. So as to tap natin, ITR pa rin. May isang pa yan ang IG, recover rin. Meron ako dito yung natin for this year lang.
Total lang sa 3.5 at
okay, lang lang. So for 2022, counterfeit goods at pinakataas ko. 5.2 billion. Next is musunod dito is ang bigas na. Next na nakita ko dito is illicit tobacco at 406 million. Followed by general merchandise.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Guerrero. And that, I hope that answers the question of Mr. Ferdinand Patrino. We have another question here from the Interactive Broadcast Media, DWWW774, Ms. Gina Mape.
Magandang hapon po, Commissioner. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Sir, update lang po kami tungkol po sa campaign ng Bureau of Customs sa all snapping. Kung iyan na po, kung may mga nakasunod pong individual, may lang po, di ba? And then, yung halaga po ano na po at yung wala na pong discount.
May data ko dito regarding sa mga anti-smuggling.
Opo.
May data ko dito regarding sa fuel smuggling.
Opo.
For 2022. Yung ano natin, yung fuel market program natin, simula lang tayo ito, 2019. 2019 lang. And as far as yung 2022 data natin, we have already 8 seizures, meaning meron na tayong mga nahuli ng mga unmarked fuel. means mas smuggled fuel. Totally 3.179 million estimated worth of yung assorted fuel smuggled. Yung details ito, baka meron ka ng details ito.
Sir, bigyan ko na siya.
But as part of yung ating fuel marking program, we regularly conduct yung sinasabi natin fuel testing and fuel marking. In fact, every 3 months, pumipirma ako ng letters of authority directing yung ating enforcement personnel under the fuel marking program to visit the different gas stations, terminal stations, and plants to check yung level of markers sa ating mga fuel.
Yes,
And
sir.
then in some cases, recently, meron na tayo na-discover na small stations.
Yes.
Ang ginagawa namin dito, pag nakita namin ang mark ng fuel, we see yung ano nila, yung mga dispensing machines sila, kung saan yung pumps, dispensing pumps. And we conduct a confirmatory test of yung mga unmarked fuel nila. Pag napatunayan na unmarked talaga, then we seize the commodity, the said fuel. And we recommend contribution to mga gas stations and establishments.
Thank you, sir. Question nga po. May mga individual po bang nahuli at yung po bang conspirators sa sinasagawa nilang pagpapalusot itong mga fuel product, saan po nila ito ginagawa?
Dalawang klase yung yung outright smuggling, meron tayong outright smuggling. In fact, meron tayong kaso na nahuli natin sa Zamboanga together with the PNP. Isang boat loaded with smuggled fuel containing grams. Sa Zamboanga natin nahuli ito of the coast of hindi yata Zamboanga, parang tawi-tawi. Sa Basilan tawi-tawi area. So nahuli natin ito. So PNP, we arrested yung mga people involved sa smuggling. We detained we also seized yung vessel. So dito mga grams of fuel nito, nandun ngayon sa atin sa station natin sa Bureau of Customs. Pending disposal.
Sir, saan po ang mga location na mas madalas doon po, base po sa inyong mga nahuhuli, saan po ang mga location mas madalas ginagawa ang oil smuggling?
Oil smuggling, napapansin natin, nangyari ito sa mga coastal areas. Recently, as I said, sa southern backbone natin, sa Zamboanga. But in terms of yung mga other sources, meron tayong nahuli din sa Maribeles. Limay.
Yung po sir, mga individual responsible person na nasa likod po ng oil smuggling, pwede po bang kung
They identified na persons of interest. They already submitted yung mga news nito sa NBI. We have also submitted yung mga findings namin sa Department of Energy and sa BIR for them to also make the necessary actions against these companies, stations, and establishments. Kasi pwede silang mag-order ng closure, especially kung registered establishments.
so yung mga vessel na nahuhuli ninyo, yung po bang mga vessel na yon ay pag-aari ng mga kilalang shipping line, pwede mo bang maka-identify ng kahit na isang pangalan ng vessel?
Yung sa Dubai, kinasuhan na natin yun.
So yung LCT Yellow River.
LCT Yellow River.
Kailan po ba kayo, Commissioner, nagsimula ng campaign against oil smuggling?
Kaya sa akin, yung fuel marking program natin, yun ang efforts natin to address yung fuel smuggling. We started this in 2019, but yung operations natin, nag-pick up ng early 2020.
Sir, tama po. Ito pong nakalagay dito na 432.3 billion pesos. Ito po yung taxes na nakuha sa oil smuggling. Am I right po ba? O mali?
Anong figure?
Ito po yung ano. Sa pure marking po eh.